we're gonna do our daily edition of our roundabouts, where we discuss some of the top headlines going on in the football world. I think this Kravitz-Skelia situation is interesting. Number one, this is very, very interesting in the fact that Kravitz-Skelia actually kicks off. Georgia will kick off their tournament tomorrow. This is the first time they've ever played at a European Championship, and yeah, so big moment coming up for Kravitz-Skelia in this Georgia national team. But on the eve of this such game, some interesting remarks come from his agent and his father regarding his situation. There's some drama going on there. His agent, his father making comments, the Napoli board coming and saying something else. His agent actually, Mamuku Jugelli, I probably butchered that name, but Mamuka Jugelli, Mamuka Jugelli, who's actually a Georgian agent, and he came out and said, "We want to leave Napoli, but we're waiting for the Euro 2024. With Conte, Napoli have big plans. I'm sure they will qualify to the Champions League again next season and fight for the Scudetto, but that doesn't mean Kravitz-Skelia wants to stay here. I haven't spoken with Kvicha about the issue. The most important thing for him is the national team. Our goal is to join a team in the Champions League. The worst thing is that if he stays here, Kvicha will lose 1 year. Because of that, we are worried." Now, his father, Badri Kravitz-Skelia, also came out on this topic, saying, "I don't want Kvicha to stay in Napoli. He has worked with 4 different coaches in 1 year. This worries me a lot. He will decide for himself, although it's uncomfortable for me. I haven't spoken to Kvicha about this topic, and I'm not going to until the end of Euro 2024. Now, Napoli, obviously hearing these comments by the agent and father, felt the need to come out with their own statements with reference to this is what they said. With reference to statements by Kravitz-Skelia's agent Mamuka Jugelli and his father Bedri, Napoli reiterates that the player has a 3-year contract with the club. Kravitz-Skelia is not on the market. It is not the agent or father who decides on the future of a player under contract, but Napoli." End of story. And that is the truth. He's on a 3-year deal, so whatever leverage that they're trying to create from this situation, they do not have, because Kravitz-Skelia is on a 3-year deal. Now, if he wants out of Napoli, okay, well, interesting for him. Definitely, it's not like the market is not like what it was at the end of last season. I still think there's a market out there for him, because I think there's raw ability there. Don't get me wrong. He's a brilliant, brilliant player. And maybe a big Euros can actually change that. Actually, I think a big Euros will actually change that. But the notion that he can just force his way out, which he probably could in this day and age, but I think it's a little. I think they might be playing a little bit playing their hands. I do sympathize with Kravitz-Skelia, because there's other players that have been able to get out in these sort of situations, but Napoli and this, the board that they have, they're not going to get played. You saw the way that the way other players were treated and how trying to force out. I don't think it's going to be easy at all for Kravitz-Skelia, and yeah, it's an interesting situation there. There's obviously teams that are going to be linked with him, but I don't know. I really don't see a way Kravitz-Skelia is not wearing a Napoli jersey this season. We talked about Kylian Mbappe and his nose. Well, it's came out. He's not going to need surgery. People feared that they initially might need surgery, but Philippe Diallo, the president of the French Football Federation, told sources that the team's medical staff determined that Kylian Mbappe will be good without surgery, and he left the hospital actually at 1 a.m. in the German time, and it's known that Mbappe is having this mask, a custom-fitted mask made for him that he's gonna play whenever he comes back, and his status is deemed as questionable for Friday's game against the Netherlands. the Deschamps talking about it said he got a really bad nose. We'll have to wait and see. The medical staff are dealing with it. We'll have to see what's going to be done and then how long it will take. It was very bad news for us tonight. Obviously, the French team, with or without him, this is not the same thing. I hope he can be there. So yeah, that's it's important, imperative for him to make his return. I don't know if I want to. No, I'm not gonna address this now. I think we can save a whole topic for this another day. So I'm not gonna tomorrow. I'm not gonna say this now. Turkey, Portugal kick off tomorrow. They both kick off their European Championships. Turkey take on Georgia. I talked about the Kvaratskhelia situation. Turkey, they want to get started on a bad foot after starting bad at the last European Championship that they were considered dark horses in, and not really making a good account for them. It's important for them to start big against weaker opposition. Now Portugal against Czech Republic. This Czech Republic team that made the semifinals or quarterfinals at the last European Championship actually went farther than Portugal. Interesting game in the fact that I think Czech Republic does have some ability to really threaten Portugal, but obviously Portugal are the better team. And we'll see. We get to see Cristiano Ronaldo on the big stage again at a European Championship. You see the way he's selling out just practices in Germany. I think there's a major reason for that. Now, normally Cristiano Ronaldo normally sells out everything, right? But I think there's this added excitement in watching Ronaldo, and the fact that he's been in Saudi, but he hasn't really been in the big stage for a long time now, almost a year and a half, or since basically the last World Cup. So yeah, we're all excited to see Cristiano Ronaldo. He's gonna start tomorrow. Which I think he should. I think against the weaker opposition, he should be starting because you're going to dominate possession, and it will be great to have a box striker like him. Now, it's against the better teams where I don't think he'll provide ability to play to run in behind against teams that are playing a high line, that are pressing, and he's not going to provide you any work defensively in terms of pressing the striker, and that's also a major concern if you're also playing a Rafael Leao that doesn't provide any sort of defensive help either. I think playing those two is really a recipe for disaster. But against these weaker oppositions, I definitely think he's a good option to put in there. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch Cristiano Ronaldo on the big stage again tomorrow. Who wouldn't be? I think Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the greatest to ever do it. So yeah, I mean, I think it's rather simple, rather based on that. There's There's the Ronaldinho comments. Ronaldinho came out talking about the Brazil not style of play, but the quality of players and it not being what it used to be. And really, I'm gonna pull up his comments actually exactly word by word because I don't want to sugarcoat what he said. By the way, he also said it was an ad afterwards. I don't even know what that means. I'm just gonna discuss what he initially said. He said, this is a sad moment for those who love Brazilian football. It's getting hard to find the spirit to watch these games. This is perhaps one of the worst teams in recent years. It has no respectable leaders, only average players for the country. I've been following football since I was a kid, long before I thought about becoming a player, and I've never seen a situation as bad as this. A lack of love for the shirt, lack of grit, and the most important of all, football. I repeat, our performance has been one of the worst things I've ever seen. Such a shame. I therefore declare my resignation. I will not watch any Columbus Copa America game nor celebrate any victory. Okay, look, was this comment horrible in terms of accuracy? I don't think so. In terms of this is not the same Brazil, I absolutely agree with him. When you look at the likes of that 2002 team and before, or there's the style of play, the flair, the ability, the talent is not the same. But the way he made these comments, I think they're kind of counterproductive. I don't know what this exactly does for Brazil in terms of improving this. I don't understand why he comes out and say it. If it's coming from his heart and he was trying to improve Brazil, if that's the case, there's other approaches to actually fix the situation rather than just calling them out. I don't think that really does anything. But interesting thing, and on the eve of Copa America, that's the last thing, Brazil players needed to hear, or, Brazil fans wanted to hear. But yeah, it's just a bad look, I'm not gonna lie, in general. This is the end of the GSMC Soccer Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you once again, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Let's go. I wake up to a